Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I am super excited. This is my first video where I will be doing a scrapbook layout. I did scrapbooking maybe 8 years ago. I want to say 8 or 9 years ago. I was really into it. And I stopped for a long while. Obviously, life happened. But whenever I do scrapbooking, it calms me. It makes me feel better. I love to take pictures. And I also like to keep them, but I also like things to look beautiful. So that's why I like doing scrapbooking. I did get this scrapbook from Hobby Lobby. It's from the Paper Studio. It was $9.99 priced, but when I got it, it was a sale, so it was $6.99. And the pattern on there didn't bother me the least bit because I like black is my favorite color, and black and white just goes with everything. It is a 6x6. And the cardstock book that I'm using, I actually got from, I want to say, Joann Fabrics. And it's just a nice gold foil, and I like it. I'm not sure if this is a theme that I want to continue throughout the whole book, but as for right now, it is most definitely working. It's just beautiful. I think I might do the whole book gold now that I think about it. It's not bad. I just didn't want to get bored with it. So, let's get into this. So I'm choosing this before I even go further than that. This is a scrapbook dedicated to self-love. Self-love, I would say, is a journey that I have been on for a while. I do think self-love is continuous. If you ask me, it's like an ongoing journey. I think, however, there are times where self-love needs to be embraced or practiced more so than other times, especially if you go through challenges, and especially health challenges that I've been through that may have altered appearance or anything like that. So self-love is very important to me, and I wanted to just dedicate a whole book toward loving myself and embracing my imperfections, but also helping me to embrace them more and get through them. And I have learned that when I started my journey in self-love way earlier, when I first started to have health issues and scars and different things like that, I just accepted it, and accepting it is good, but I would accept it and hide it at the same time. I would accept it and not like it. And I think it's a difference between, obviously no one likes scars. Well, not that many people like scars, I guess. And it's a difference in how you let it affect your life. And for me, it was affecting a huge part of my life, because as I look at my scars day in and day out, it was hard. Now it's more so a reminder of where I've been and where God has brought me and how I've grown. But I feel that there are very much days, especially with COVID, when COVID happened, it constricted a lot of things that I did, because we wore masks and it was no contact with people. It was just so many things, and I'm already an introvert, so it allowed me to go deeper into being an introvert and coming out. As I started going to like restaurants and different places like that, it was a readjustment of myself, as you would probably say. So I wanted to dedicate a book toward just loving myself, getting to know my scars again on a different level, as just things are evolving and I'm evolving. And I just felt it was time for a refresher, so to speak, with self-love. So this whole scrapbook, with all of that being said, is going to be dedicated to loving myself. And one thing I enjoy about scrapbooking for me is that it doesn't necessarily require a lot of words. It can tell a story to somebody, on it, whoever is looking at it, on whatever experience that you're having, or sometimes it's just scrapbooking of just keeping pictures in one spot. So for me, this is all dedicated to self-love, and I wanted to open and okay, so before you all see it later on in the video, you will see that I did the first and the last page. I don't know why I do that. I don't know why. For some reason, it gives me inspiration to get things going. So I always do my first and my last page. Another reason why I wanted to just jump right into scrapbooking and getting familiar with everything is my friend is having a baby. She's like not even my best friend. She's like my sister because we grew up together. Literally went through everything together, and she's having a baby. And when she had her last child, I did a scrapbook. I was just getting into it then, and I never really finished it. So this new baby, I am going to wait to see what she's having, and then I'm going to create a scrapbook for her so she will be able to keep the memories in there. So I have a couple of upcoming projects that I want to do that's related to scrapbooking. So you will see more videos, and hopefully I will get better. But this scrapbook, I wanted to open up with a scripture that speaks to what I feel self-love should be about. And just accepting yourself and all the pieces of yourself. And for me, in this aspect, this book is dedicated to physical self-love. And so the scripture that I chose to start this book with it comes from 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 3 and 4. Your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. And so that is something that I always need to be, not always need to be reminded of, but when the scripture talks of elaborate hairstyles, I used to be a big hair person. It wasn't a part of me, but as of the last couple of years, the last picture that you see would be like the last style that I had of braids, and I love wearing braids. And I just haven't been able to do it anymore because in the picture that you'll see that I'm making, my last picture, it was, I want to say a year ago, because COVID was still happening. So it's like a year and a half ago. And my braids were bigger, the spaces was bigger because my hair was just getting into what I now know as alopecia. And I am still discovering, working with the dermatologist in terms of what is actually going on and the issues that I'm having with my skin now. So looking at the scripture and seeing it, say like beauty should not come from outward adornment and elaborate hairstyles and gold and jewelry and stuff like that. I think that's important, especially as I work in the field that I'm in now. I see so many adolescents that come in and they are fixated on the way that they look, their hair, and I was so amazed at the extent of how it damaged their self-image in general, and the extent that they went to when they've been bullied because of the way that their hair looks or their skin color or the way that their eyebrows are or their weight or different things like that. And so it's always important to remember that what we are on the inside and who we are on the inside is important, and that's what makes us who we are, and the spirit and the energy that we bring is what makes us who we are, and that's what God looks at. And we are all beautiful. And even though it's a struggle and I have to constantly remind myself of this, it's important because sometimes we get wrapped up in keeping up with the Joneses, wrapped up in what we see on social media and how we should be. And if we don't know who we are, the world and others will always tell us what we should be and how we should look. So this is a celebration of a lot of things, I guess. So I also added, one thing I like about scrapbooking is just adding so many different elements and things to it. And I love to utilize what I have. And the JCPenney jewelry book I decided to just use the gold rings. I thought it went perfectly with the gold foiling that's already in the cardstock, and just with what the scripture says. So that's important to me. And I chose this picture because it was just the big, I guess you can say, the beginning and ending of a era for me in terms of where I was with my hair, the relationship that I had with my hair, the relationship that I need to now develop with my hair is important. And it's the one that I ignored, I guess you can say. So yeah, it's a lot that comes into that, longer than this video, but that's why I chose that picture, because it just reminded me, it just brings, like, I feel like my face was so refreshed, my skin was good. My skin has been good for a while, considering where I came from acne, but just having that fresh face along with my hairstyle that I love is really important. And I chose the words embrace because I always need to embrace who I am, which will always change according to challenges, obstacles, and also good things that happen. I don't need to always love myself, and also discover who I am, which is constant and ongoing, and always hope for the best in everything. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you all think, and also comment below and talk with me about, have you went on a self-love journey? And if so, is this something that you think is ongoing or not? If you haven't embarked on a self-love journey, do you feel like it's something that would be good to start? Would you learn new things about yourself, or do you feel like you're just, that's an area that doesn't need any work? So let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.